Hey guys, what's up? It's Mike Martin. Welcome to my studio. Today we are demoing the Fuchs audio technology Mantis Jr. and I've had my eye on this amp for some time. I know the guys at Fuchs and have known them for several years now and have had the pleasure of recording with several of their amps on different projects here in Atlanta. And when I heard about this little beast, I got very excited about this guy because I was very familiar with the Mantis architecture for a lot of the hard rock stuff that I've done some tracking with. And this little guy is not just a little guy. I think Deb calls him Mantis's snotty little brother with an attitude problem. I think that's pretty good description. So anyway, what we're dealing with here, the Mantis Jr. comes kind of on the smaller casino architecture, that whole smaller amp series that Fuchs has started doing. And with this, it comes in a 50 or 100 watt, or you can run it with 6L6s or EL34s. It's a 2-channel amplifier. You've got a clean channel and a dirty channel, and with the foot switch that comes with it, there is an internally adjustable boost for each channel, so that you can set that for however you want it. So you could almost use this sort of like a 4-channel amplifier if you so desired. But basically it's 2 channels with a shared 3-band EQ, as well as a presence and a thrust control. Presence kind of attenuates the top end character of the output of the amplifier, and the thrust kind of works more on the low end, more like a resonance sort of control to help you push or sort of shape up the bottom end of the amplifier. So anyway, let's get into it a little bit. That first little bit you heard me playing was on the channel 2, the gainy channel. But both channels actually have quite a bit of gain on tap. They are voiced very differently, but let's check them out a little bit. Here is channel 1. Real sensitive to your volume control. Has a very nice percussive quality to it. If you like to play a lot of rhythm guitar, that feels really good to do that. And that's just pretty much, here's the low gain, pre-gain side of that channel, all the way up, so it'll get cleaner than that. To where it won't hardly break up at all, even if you're digging in pretty hard. But I like my clean channels on these types of amps to be real dynamic to my picking. So if I want it to be clean, it's how I pick. And if I want it to bark at me, and that's barely barking, you can push it a little further from there. Between single coils and humbuckers. And even get a little aggressive with it. It'll start working at you. And then all the way up. Certainly not a metal tone, but it's a warm, browner kind of a sound. So let's go back to the halfway mark, and then we'll get into the boost. And now it definitely gets a hairier brown kind of sound. And it's hard to believe that's the clean channel. So which very musical and very helpful. All right, for the dirty channel, tell you what, let's switch over to something a little bit more traditional sounding than Well, before I do that, we'll stay right here and go to the dirty channel so you can hear it with humbuckers, and then we'll switch over to something with single coils. So that's the dirty channel, and notice I've got the gain a bit further back on here. It doesn't clean up. It will clean up with your volume knob. But there's a lot of gain on the second. Maybe one of the gainiest amps I think that Fuchs is with. But I still hear a lot of complexity in the notes. It's still very sensitive to my picking. Where you can play a real mysterious sounding chord like that. And then dig in a little bit more with the right hand, and it spits back at it. All right, back to where I was. Very, very musical for a lot of that open string ringing kind of more rock rhythm playing. And then if you start pushing it up past 12 o'clock. Starts getting real thick in the low mids, which is a little different from your typical, maybe more heavy metal amplifier. So it's definitely, and it still retains a lot of the beautiful things that you want to hear from a more interesting open chord like that. Not just your typical. Which it does that great too. Let's just dime the gain on this and so you can see where that goes. And still very quiet. I mean, that's the gain all the way up. That's wide open. So again, very thick in the low mids, a bit more of a chocolatey sound than maybe a brown sound, not quite so Britishy, shall we say. And then of course you have a boost available on this channel as well, with the same foot switch. So there's our gain backed off, and here comes the boost. Really dynamic sounding. All right, let me swatch out guitars here a little bit, and then we'll get into all the EQ features so you can hear it with single coils, so you can hear how it reacts with all that. With the magic of the internet and editing skills. Voila. All right, so we're back on the clean channel. And I know they're really marketing this more as a rock amplifier, but depending on the guitar that you play, I mean, that's a very good blues rock kind of sound, which I think all Fuchs amps do exceptionally well. Again, clean channel boosted. Let's swap that. Tell you what. That's clean channel boosted, and here's the dirty channel. You can hear it gets a little rattier, a little snarly. Again, I just can't say enough good things about the gain on this one. Play these complex chords. And you can hear all of the interesting notes that would typically clash in a very unmusical way with a lot of gain. And that's the dirty channel with the gain about halfway up. So there's a ton going on there. So while we're here, let's talk about the EQ a little bit. So you hear the full range of the treble control. So a lot of range to the treble. You can get a very nice, warm, rolled off kind of sound with still a ton of gain, or very, very snarly with it turned all the way up, and with a telly. It definitely gets some teeth on it, which I think is fantastic. Mid control, let's scoop it all the way out. About 10, 11 o'clock. Put a little bit more in there. And let's go ahead and dime it. So again, very musical, even with the mid-range cranked. That doesn't. That gets a nice kind of sound. I guess a little bit up in the nose, but again, it's a nice round mid-range. It doesn't get unusable. All right, and then here the bass. Fuchs kind of owns it with the bass control. That's the bass all the way out. A little snarly. Coming back up. Almost all the way up. And then all the way. So plenty of good low end coming out of. So all bands, all three bands of the EQ, very usable. I find it's very neutral, probably starting somewhere around 12 o'clock, and then you can push and pull from there. And then here's the presence control with EQ pretty much almost flat there. We'll start with the presence, and you can hear what that does to the top end. Very nice to have that very sparkly top end that you can adjust there to your liking, and it seems very musical to me the whole way, up and down there, depending on what kind of rock that you're doing, a warmer or maybe more metal kind of sounding. And then the thrust, again, here's all the way out. You can hear what that does to the bottom end. It really tightens it. And bringing it up. More. Even more. And then all the way. So again, very usable depending on how you need that to sit in the mix. Just a ton of control on tap there. So I guess the other thing there is that you've got 2 volume controls for both channels, so you can balance between the two to get them at whatever volume you need to keep the amp set at. You can balance them out between the pre-gain and the post-gain. Maybe push a little bit harder on the quote-unquote master section to get a little bit more output tube sounding stuff, and then back off on your pre-gain. Or vice versa. You can push the pre-gain a little bit harder, kind of like what I'm doing, and then run your master volumes a little bit more conservatively. So all in all, that is the Mantis Jr. from Fuchs Audio Technology, a beast of an amplifier. If you need more information, go to fuchsaudiotechnology.com for any more information and questions that you might have there. You can submit right to the company through their website and check out all of their products. They've got a ton of great products there. And thank you so much for checking out my video on the Mantis Jr. Please subscribe to my channel and stick around and check out other videos that we've got, and check out some more videos that are coming up soon. So thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Suck up.